What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. All right, guys, it's been almost 3 weeks, about 2.5 weeks since I made a video. A lot of you guys have been reaching out to me, asking me if I'm still following AMC, if I'm still making videos, what happened, some speculation that I, got bought out or so forth. Trust me, guys, my channel is not nearly that big that I'm sure people of that nature are not really concerned about me. But I will give you guys just a brief update, and then we're going to get into the overall market and more specifically AMC, because of course I still follow everything that is going on. First of all, my newborn is almost 3 months old. So I've taken a lot of time really trying to not miss some of these early years. My first, son, I had some regrets, missing a lot. I was just working too much. So I try to take a little bit of time away from the desk and not be totally diving into it. And I still have obviously multiple other ventures when it comes to, real estate and my marketing business, that even though I am removed, I still kind of have to step in once in a while. Still continuing to trade. The algorithm, if you guys haven't, checked it out, it's first link in the description. Come check it out. It's still running really, really well. There's probably about a couple hundred, about 400 people inside the group as of right now. Everything triggers live. I've really tried to implement this to be a phenomenal tool that I hope you guys can find it valuable. Come check it out. Is no risk. You jump in, see if it it could be something that could work for you. Like I said, it is a tool to be help add conviction and confidence to plays that you're already interested in. If you are trading, guys, if you're not, then don't worry about it. But if you are, like I said, come check it out. I'd love to be able to kind of share that. So we have been building this over and kind of tweaking it and so forth. But let's get into some market details, and then we're going to talk about AMC. So first of all, market has been on a steady grind since October. It's wild to see the parallel views on Twitter. Okay, you've got people that are saying like we're gonna crash, it's gonna go down. I saw a post today saying that there's gonna be I swear to you guys, there's gonna be a 25-year bear market. SPX is gonna go down to, I know it's like 1800 or something like that. And it's just wild to see like the two polar opposing sides to this, right? We're in a bull market and so forth. Well, we have recovered 20% off lows, so that would indicate another bull market. If you notice, guys, and I've mentioned this multiple times before, the tech sector is the one that is really carrying this. Okay, so if you guys remember some of the the high growth rallies we've talked about, I've mentioned in regards, especially with AMC, is that a lot of times your high growth, your small caps, your speculative stocks, such as AMC, which would be a squeeze play, would be one of the first ones to sell off, right? And people would hold on to these blue chips, okay? And they wouldn't sell these blue chips until later on. However, okay, when you have these small intermittent rallies, right? These tiny little, maybe week and a half, they'll pick up the small caps, right? But when you're looking for that extended, like we've seen since October lows, we're going on, 7 months now, 8 months now. All right, once these blue chips eventually, because they're the last ones to get sold, once they get beat up so bad, that's where all the attention is focused on. And then you'll start to see, them pick up the pieces and go after, your speculative stocks. You see a lot of your high growth stocks starting to recover. Palantir, we had a great swing with Palantir. It's focused into that, AI sector, especially running, with NVIDIA and so forth. This was another stock that was, a huge runner back in, up to $45, obviously got murdered, and we've had a pretty good sized swing all the way from that $8 and so forth. So just understand that kind of shift happens, right? We are getting into a position where I think we are a little bit overbought, and especially because a lot of the stocks, or actually the few stocks that are carrying the entire market, are just really, really overextended. Doesn't mean it can't continue to go higher. Just be prevalent, right? So we have, definitely seen a form of a bottom. Do I think that we're going to go back to all-time highs and rip to a bear market or a bull market, insane bull market, right? And get back to that euphoria? I don't think that we're quite there yet, especially because you got to think even if you guys are new to the stock market, going back to that 2021, 2022, even 2020, money was just printed left and right? And so much more than just stimulus and so forth, quantitative easing, the government, got in, the Federal Reserve. It was just absolutely insane, right? So that really led to a huge push in what we've seen. And we're just not there yet, especially from, a macro and a Fed standpoint, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, let's get into just quickly talking about AMC. I know I've already talked for probably about almost 5 minutes now, but AMC is still hanging up around this $5 price point, right? And so my main focus, what I've been following fairly closely, guys. I really try not to get into all of the insane details. One, because like I said, I am busy with other aspects, of my life. And it just seems like a lot of the targets that happen, and you hear all this speculation, people making videos every single day about, it's building hype and there's nothing really behind it that is, continue happening. And I said that a while ago that I would continue to make videos regarding AMC. However, I'm not going to make a video every single day because there's not something changing every single day that is actually affecting your decision making and affecting the stock like we see it. So what we're sitting around that $5 price point, what I've been really focusing is what is happening with the the lawsuit, right? So everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people got their postcards. And that was really just, a legal way of AMC making its shareholders aware of exactly what is happening. They're able to get evidence, and it's going to be, I think the next upcoming date is the 29th to the 30th. But this was kind of a big one, right? This is the most recent article that I've seen really focusing on this. When it comes to kind of some changes back on May 22nd, they win rare access to evidence in a fight over $129 million settlement. And from my sense, right, in summarizing all of this, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty details, okay, the most specifics, but just kind of give you guys an overview. My sense is that the court is, and they've already shown this, okay, by not letting AMC settle on the sidelines. And I covered a video about that a long time ago when they tried to make a deal publicly, and the court said, listen, the judge said, no, we're not going to do it. And a lot of people, on Twitter and even on the comments were like, wait a minute, when the plaintiffs and the defendants come up with a deal, like, of course the judge is going to, agree with it. And I said, well, listen, sometimes people don't know, what is in their own best interest, right? They're chasing after that dollar amount, that financial gain, which it seemed like that's kind of what the pension fund was after. Right. So we have, a wait up until a few weeks until the judge kind of oversees this, and everything has kind of shown that, listen, he is siding, unless AMC can really bring up some, other special cases. He is kind of siding with the shareholders, saying, you need to get approval in order to increase your stock, right? So you did something that was approved, right? Approved being able to make the 8 preferred dividend, but switching it back is really the same thing, right? And it's just kind of just going behind closed doors. And obviously shareholders have put up, majority of shareholders have put up a big fight arguing against that. Okay. So it'll be interesting really to see. Like I said, I kind of do feel like the judge is siding in some of that. The more time that goes on and the more things that are quiet and what happens behind closed doors. Okay, guys, it's just like politics. Okay. If things continue to happen and go behind closed doors that we don't know about, there could be, other agreements and so forth. And that could totally change the direction that I feel, right, that everything has gone as of thus far. On a side note, and I always say this, guys, the market is forward acting, right? Forward looking. Okay. Based off of what is going to happen, right? So for example, right, we saw, inflation running rampant, right? And because of their calculations alone, solely because of how CPI is calculated, it didn't matter if prices continued to increase, okay? Because fuel, right, which is the energy sector, which is very heavily weighted, because fuel was going down, okay? And the fact that inflation prices would not increase at the same pace, CPI was going to go down, and therefore the market had started to recover. Okay. And it was much forward looking, right? The market started to hit that low of that 350 on SPY. Once it hit that highest, CPI rating, and it started to, kind of curve down because it knew it was going to happen 6 to 9 months in advance, right? So we have to keep that in the back of our minds. When it comes to this, you have two things. One, if you're looking for a conversion from APE into AMC, you would think that it would be trading a little bit closer, and we still have that large disparity, right? When we watched all these things can happen in the movement moving forward, you watch AMC pull back a little bit, right? AMC went down to like 370 in that pre-market. I'm looking at the daily chart on APE here, but it went down to that 370, something like 370, 375 during that pre-market. And obviously APE had popped up because it's looking, to try to even out some of that balance. Same thing, once APE opened up, AMC immediately had pulled back down. So seeing this disparity, at least as of now, still gives me the indication that, investors are not banking on this to happen. They're not pricing in this to happen as of just yet, because we still have plenty of time before this decision could even be made. I would expect, as we get closer, okay, especially if there's not anything that is known about behind the scenes, okay, which obviously it's always hard to tell that, you're going to see a little bit of a run up in ape, right? Because it's always that chance, right? You know what I mean? Like even getting it, right now it's sitting at about 160, it pops up to, $2, it's a 25% gain from where it's sitting at right now. Okay, but it pops up just to be a little bit closer, whether it rides, whether it's shorts building a position, whether it's just natural, algorithms kind of picking up on this, playing that they know the news is going to be happening and, increasing volume and so forth. I would expect a little bit of a pop to happen, but seeing that disparity continue, especially if we get closer, would still lead me to believe my same stance when it comes to AMC. So guys, that is it for this video. I will continue to update. I'll see you in the next one.